Welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Funk. Thinking right out here in the lab. What I do for you. Oh, I got something nice for you today. I just gave you a lesson about esoteric and symbolic knowledge. I'm backing that up with esoteric and symbolic process of transformation, aka the process of transformation. Let's go, or better known as the transformation is the way to know thyself. Alright, let's rock. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. The message in the story for life. I'm giving life lessons. You tune in and receiving them. Appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's rock. Right Thinker's mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right Thinker's way of life, through mental and spiritual discipline, daily will help and guide you to to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. Right thinkers, your goal as a right thinker is to know thyself. That's the end game. That's the purpose and reason why you're here. Get what I got for you, which is knowledge, aka self-knowledge that you can use to know thyself. So I asked the question, do you know you? It's rhetorical, but if you don't have an answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believes and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm a spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. And to Maya, be true. Let's talk about a lesson I gave a little while ago for those who may not have been around at that time. So I'm going to give it to you today, break it down a little different, but the same message. I'm going to deliver it to you a little different today. It's called the esoteric and the symbolic process of transformation, aka transformation is the way to know thyself. Let's talk about it. All right. You got the scarab. Let me show you a quick picture. You've seen that picture before. That's the scarab pushing the sun across the sky symbolically. Again, there we go. But the esoteric meaning is the scarab is the symbol of what? Transformation. From the mortal conscious to eternal consciousness. From animal to spiritual. The Sphinx was built, the first monument built, showing you the transformation from the beastly nature to consciousness, man. They changed that around a few times. They said it was a woman. Okay, but the concept is you had to transform from your beastly nature, raise your conscious level, and man or woman have consciousness so we can know thyself, aka know God. Okay, those who have learned to know themselves, there you go, right thinkers, have reached what? That state which does what? Transcend any abundance of physical existence. The spiritual awakening, that joy, the ecstasy you get from knowing thyself supersedes anything you can get in the physical world. I gave that lesson about happiness also. Let's go. But watch this. They who do love and that leads astray because of what? Monetary things in the world, they will expend their love upon what? Their body senses, and they will stay in the darkness, ignorance, wandering and suffering through their what? Senses, physical life, things of what? Suffer through anxiety, they will suffer unrest, and eventually death. That's for those who don't wake up and know thyself. Those who don't live in a judgment day fail the test of Maya. So you will actually die twice. Let's go symbolically. Let's talk about the spiritual path. If you're a right thinker, that means you chose the spiritual path. I don't no religion. This is a way of life. It's a spiritual concept that you can learn and practice and manifest for yourself. Let's go. And the results will be you knowing thyself. In the critical, it is critical to understand what? That through the spiritual path takes place in the world of relative reality, which is now time and space in time right now. And it is essential to what? To an individual's journey whereby one is led to a level of what? Consciousness, aka knowing thyself. That has what? You have no friends, you have no pain, you have no fun. In the ordinary sense, that's what they think. Well, if I gotta be spiritual, I gotta give up. No, you don't. No, you don't. No family, okay? No television, no sex. Uh-oh, here we go. A lot of people, I'm with that. No illusions, etc. But wherein there is a fullness, watch this, of all things, that's when you know thyself, and all those things means nothing. Watch this, because complete satisfaction and contentment where within one's completeness, not things that you can obtain through the physical world. Supreme peace, aka hotel. That's what you want to reach. Where there is no need to what? Want things. Why? Since one now, what? You finally discovered that the one is what? All things. You and God are one. Everything is on the one. There is nothing to want. Also, nothing that you need. Again, this state, those who consciously choose the spiritual path must know that what? They are choosing a more rigorous lifestyle of living a virtuous life, and it is far easier what? To just give in to your sensual pleasures of the body, and most people do, live on the ego level, satisfying itself. Here you go. Sensual pleasures and your ego desires. That ego is a bad mamma jamma. And if you are ignorant of your ego self, you're going to constantly have problems. You're going to struggle. You're going to go through all the things we keep telling you about it. Why? Because that's what's causing it. Your ignorance of your ego self, this running the show, so to speak. I got a lesson for that too coming for you. But you got to understand. And there, what's this? Where we at? When you satisfy your ego desires, watch this, then to live in such a what? Disciplined way. It's easier to satisfy you. You got higher self, God, you got ego self, you. When you decide you want to have what you want, you in opposition to God, that make you the devil. Moving on, just give me the concept. I don't do it, I just show you. I just give you facts. It ain't about my opinion, it ain't about how I feel and think. It's about what it is. Get used to dealing with what it is, because it is what it is. Simple as that. How you feel about that? Nobody cares. Not me. Moving on. I tell the truth. Let the chips fall where they may. Moving on. Now let's talk about the quick 3 levels of students. In ancient times, the Egyptian mystery system, yoga schools had 3 levels of students. Masonry got 3 levels for master masonry. And they're pretty much the same. Watch this. I always try to show the comparison with that. The mortals, the first level, you're mortals. That means you're rookie, you're an apprentice, you don't know nothing, okay? And this means you're a student who will be what? Instructed on what? A probationary status, because you have not experienced any inner vision. You have no clue of what we're about to introduce you into. So be ready, be prepared, and give your best effort. Second degree, you have the intelligence. We call them fellow crafts. We give you some working tools, teach you how to use them. Again, we give you tools and teach you how to use them. Your job is to master the use of those tools to better yourself. Hence, Master Mason at the end. But here, the intelligence, these are the students who have what? Attained 1 degree, 1 level of inner vision, and they have received that glimpse of cosmic consciousness. Meaning, now they starting to realize, oh, wait a minute, yeah, I want more. They start to crave what? Knowledge, intellect. Why? You start to learn that the more you learn, the more you implement what you learn, the better you become. Hello, that's the name of the game. Third, the creators or the beings of light. Light meaning knowledge. Simple. Understand that. Light, good, dark, bad. Dark, ignorance, light, light. Not black and white, good, bad, pretty much different, but that's the case. It's the classic symbolic esoteric concept that indented white and black checkered floor, that's showing you good and evil, right, wrong, whatever your terminology, but it's symbolically, that's what it means, okay? You got just as much sunlight as you got darkness. We started out, what? In the dark. Let there be light. And light couldn't eradicate all the dark, but it kept it at bay for 12 hours symbolically, okay? Esoterically. That's the purpose. Moving on. It shares. Let's go. When you got good and evil, you can't have one without the other. Understand that. That's where Maya comes in. Duality. Everything has an equal opposite. Let's go. Let's talk about right quick the 10 great virtues of right thinkers. Or right here we got yeah. Transformation of all non-enlightened beings. Okay, let's go. You working toward what? Salvation. What's salvation? Salvation is the freeing of your soul from what is bodily fetish. That means you're not leading by your ego. And you become what? A God through how? Knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge is acquiring the knowledge. Wisdom is experiencing it for yourself. So knowledge and wisdom go together. And by controlling the forces of what? The cosmos, instead of being a slave to them, being ignorant of them, you become their slave. When you subdue, here you go, your lower nature, fellas, meaning taking care of below your waist, live above the waist. I go from neck high. I don't need nothing else, okay? So I go farther. I start from the neck up. But you got to raise your conscious level past your lower nature. Lower nature just wants. So if you get into that, you're going to just do just that. Trust me. Been there, understand it. Where you at? So, yeah, lower nature. Excuse me. And by doing this, by controlling your lower nature through what? Through the awakening and the understanding of your higher self, you end the cycle of what? Rebirth and dwelling with the netters in what y'all call heaven. We know it as the duat, the afterlife. Who what? Who direct the control the great planes. The forces still in control of the afterlife. So the fetters, what's fetters? The fetters are what bind the soul to what? Physical existence. You're trapped inside this body, and whatever the body do, you are responsible. You're along for the ride. Fetters are self-inflicted nonsense that you're going to put yourself through due to ignorance of your higher self. So watch this. These are, you ready? The fetters are greed, lust, passion, avarice, covetousness, intemperance, and other such behaviors which are what? Perpetuated by, you ready? Excuse me, by ignorance. Again, that's the biggest bugaboo in your ego is represented by ignorance. Why? It is God out. It don't have respect or knowledge of God. It will work if you put him in that position. Other than that, he have no clue. Moving on. And you also by developing what? A virtuous character. Being a good person is that's what it's all about. You should be in what? Paramount. It should be of paramount importance to what? The spiritual seeker, right thinkers, since it is only through this attainment that it is possible to acquire the subtlety of mind, intellect, needed to what? Grasp the higher and deeper spiritual truths. They had to be studied of one's own existence, hence self-knowledge. Know who you are by studying and learning about the personality that you can learn by studying the gods and goddesses. For this reason, watch this, the focus of the right thinker aspirants is first directed where? To the perfection of your higher virtues, which are the 10 in number. I'm going to break them down for you. And these should be meditated upon right there. When you meditate, you should have rhyme and reason and purpose before you go into that meditative state of mind to start it off. Upon, watch this, and it should be practiced when? At all times. I live in a meditative state. That be meaning you're God conscious. I'm not meditating, but I keep God on my mind. That's the meditative state of mind. Once these are mastered, once these are mastered and peace of mind is achieved, now you got the 7 liberal arts. I got that in my little book here. I can break that down for a lesson for you. I do got that coming for you. But the 7 liberal arts, let me give you right quick. I meant to break that down for you. Page 70. I already got it laid out for you. I'm going to start right here. 7 liberal arts. I'm going to tell you what they are right quick. And this is from Sonic knowledge right here. 7 liberal arts. You got grammar, you got grammar, you got rhetoric, you got logic, you got arithmetic, geometry, music, and astronomy. And each one of them has a breakdown for the significance of what it means. Again, the esoteric and the symbolic meaning. Grammar is a science which teaches us how to express our ideas in appropriate words, which we afterward beautifully and adorn with rhetoric, the next level, while logic instructs us on how to think and reason with propriety and to make language subordinate to thought. Arithmetic, which is the science of computing by numbers, is absolutely essential, not only to the thorough knowledge of all mathematical science, but also to a proper pursuit of our daily vocation. Geometry, or the application of arithmetic, is sensible qualities and is all sciences. The most important sense be if we measure the surveyed globe, we inherit all the principles extended to all spheres. The completion and measurement of the sun, moon, and heavenly bodies constitute the science of astronomy. And lastly, we have our minds filled with thoughts and enlarged by the admiration of all wonders, which these sciences open our view. Music, ding, 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 comes to soften our hearts. They say music will soothe the savage beast and refine our affections by soothing and influencing us to calm down. Quick lesson, the 7 liberal arts. Back to the lesson. Sorry about that. I hope you got the understanding. Didn't want to take up much of time. Now I'm going to get to the 10 virtues. Okay, right quick. I'm about to end this lesson. I see the time right now. I got more for you, so I'm going to rush. Let's go. Where we at? Okay, after I did the 7 liberal arts, you got intellectual yoga philosophy and are taught in order for you, the aspirant, to master the understanding of his and her personal existence. Again, it goes back to knowing thyself as well as your personal existence and the existence of creation. I always start with the creation story. Why? To get you the understanding of where it all began and what it's all about. That's why. That's the esoteric and symbolic meaning of what I teach. I start with the creation. Then what you got? You got the greater mysteries, which is your higher yoga philosophy. That's what I teach about the self. That's what's taught as right thing philosophy. And the purpose of this discipline is to remove your fetters again that you call yourself, which hold the soul involved, bound to the physical existence. Again, it's along for the ride, thus freeing it, watch this, from earthly suffering and the burden of another reincarnation. Once you wake up and get knowledge of self, you break that recycling, you break the reincarnation process. Why? Because once you know that self, your head go on your body, made the connection, the heart-mind coherence, bam, you're going home. That's the concept. And you can't make it without transformation of ignorance into knowledge. Not knowing thyself to knowing thyself. Okay, you got 10 virtues. Let me go right quick. 10 virtues of, we know about the initiation. I just gave you that, the initiation. You should understand it. I gave this before, I think. Number 1, control your thoughts. Get better at what's going on in your head. Number 2, control the actions of those thoughts. It's okay to have bad, negative thoughts, but if you start acting on them, now you got to pay the consequences for that action. So understand that. It's okay to have a bad thought, but don't act on it. Now you got to pay the price for that. So control your actions by controlling your thoughts. Positive and good thoughts, always. Number 3, Always show and have devotion of purpose. Do something for a cause, not because. I give myself a service because it's going to help for the cause of helping somebody else. I don't do it because I can get something from them. Two different things. Number 4, have faith in what? In your master, aka sage teacher's ability to what? Lead you along the path of truth. I only speak Makadu. That's the truth. When enlightening and teaching you, I'm only going to give you the truth. How you deal with that, that's on you. But I'm never going to lie. I'm going to keep it the truth. Keep it 100 as they tell you. Number 5, have faith in your own ability to what? To accept the truth. There you go. Everybody wants the truth, but some of us can't handle the truth. And always have faith in what? In your, again, ability to act with wisdom. Don't act the fool. Don't walk right here with the right thinking emblem on and acting the fool. That won't work. It makes us look bad. Okay, I'm saying us. I wear it every day, so I can't wild out act the fool. Number 7, accept your consequences for your actions. Number 8, more important, be able and be willing to accept the consequences of your actions when what? When they are wrong. We ain't perfect. We're going to make mistakes. If you do something unintentionally, all you got to do is apologize and move on. If you do wrong with intention, you got to pay the consequences for that action. Simple as that. Okay? Number 9, where we at? Learn how to distinguish what? Between right and wrong. You got to use your discernment to decide if the person you're dealing with is telling you the truth or they're lying to you. If you use that discernment on Sunday morning, you wouldn't be following all these mega preachers. You come to church like I do and get a real preacher like I got. Moving on, little shameless plug there. Number 10, learn to distinguish the real from the unreal. I'm P-Funk. I'm pure real. So if you ain't real, oh man, you have problems. Trust me. Now, right quick, let's talk about the things that those who wish to follow the spiritual path, aka right thinking philosophy, need to know. You need to learn to see clearly when to wish for what is just. Learn to see what's clearly. Learn to wish for what is just. Learn to dare what your conscience dictates. And it's spelled conscience is CONSCIENCE. That's your heart conscious. Okay? It's spelled with the science. Your mind conscious is spelled CONSCIOUS. Difference. And when your heart dictates, learn to follow your heart. Trust me, we've been teaching that forever. And learn to keep your what? Your intentions a secret and more importantly, pure. And despite all your efforts, the day brings no more than yesterday, then what? Do not lose courage. Do not get discouraged, but continue steadfastly by keeping your goals before you with what? Great determination. You don't give up the fight. No matter how you keep fighting, okay? Onward. There you go. The 7 companions of the soul, the planetary spirits, guard the secret key which locks the past and opens the future. Let your efforts be aimed at what? The crown of the master. That's the 7th round on the chakra. That's the Uranus on top of his head. But it means you want to become conscious. You can wear the crown of what? Knowing thyself. And if you are a devotee to Aset, you are one who ponders over sacred matters and you seek therein for what? The hidden truth, the esoteric truth. That's what I teach you. That's what I got for you. That's what I do for you. And that's why I do it, to give it to you so that you can use it and be better for it. The veil of Aset was considered, I said, am all that have been, all that is or shall be, and no mortal man have ever unveiled me. She said, ignorant men will never see her. Unveiling Mayat is what? I gave that listing. I didn't like that one too well. I didn't get too many views. But unveiling Aset is what? Unveiling what? Your true self. That's what she's telling you. And one must what? Go beyond mortal waking consciousness in order to discover and unveil what? Your one true nature, aka your higher self, through the process of, you ready? This is the way you know yourself, your true self, by listening, reflecting, and meditating. Sound familiar? These are the ways you learn, and these may be further clarified as the following. I'm gonna break it down for you right quick, and then I'm out. We got a little bit to go. Awakening of what? Your spiritual self. That's what makes you an aspirant. You realize there's more, so you come to here to get to know what? Thyself. Becoming conscious of what? The divine presence where? Within one's own self. I love that. Purgation of the self, purging, perfecting of your mind and body. How? Through a spiritually disciplined lifestyle. You, the aspirant, tries to totally surrender what? Your personal identity, or what? Your ego self, to what? Your divine, aka your higher inner self, which is really what? The universal bar of all life. Meditating is union with what? Your divine self. The divine marriage. Know what that is? Heart, mind, coherence. They had to become one. And that's where you become one with your higher self. Watch this. Illumination of intellect. Studying and experiencing and what? Appreciating of the divine presence, doing reflection and meditating. When you go into that reflection and meditative state of mind, you're checking you. You checking you, your actions, your reactions, your ability to handle situations and how to do what you need to do at all times. Moving on. Why? Because now you have what they call mind control through what? Through wisdom from your experience. I'm a lot more wiser and smarter now for what? Just from my life experience on a day-to-day basis. Simple. That's why you can talk to the elders about what? Life. Geometry, Scott, no. Life, they know about life. Why? They live it every day. Young people, get understanding from the elders. They know things that you need to know, and if you ask them, I'm pretty sure they'll change. Moving on. Now, this was the important part about right thinking. Study, have patience, learn detachment and dispassion. Those are qualities that if you practice those things, you'll be fine. Why? Because these are the keys that open the door to control of the mind. The teaching is not, what's this? The teaching is not salvation. No. What you do with the teacher, again, knowledge ain't the power. It's what you do with that knowledge that's powerful. They're telling you the same thing. What's this? And with that determines your salvation or what? Your bondage, your choice to birth and death. Beyond the teaching lies what? Salvation. It's in the execution. It's in the implementation of the teachings. It cannot be gained, watch this, through thought alone. You can't think it, no. That is, it cannot be achieved by just thinking. Right or wrong, to make a difference. Thinking ain't going to get it. Not even right thinking. It must be known by what? Intuition and experience. The best teacher. Okay? Wrapping it up. And when you do those things, knowing thyself is the supreme good, aka sun and bottom. You reach the supreme good in this mortal life by what? Knowing thyself. That's the goal for right thinkers. Let me wrap it up for you. The purpose, again, watch this. Right thinkers, pay attention. The purpose of all right thinkers, aka human beings, is to what? Achieve a state of what? Consciousness. Apart from what? Your bodily concerns. It's past the physical senses. It's past that. And man is to become God-like. Through what? A life of virtue, righteousness, and the cultivation of your spirit through what? Scientific knowledge. It's already been proven. Practice and your bodily disciplines. I exercise daily. I pray and meditate daily. This is a routine that once you acquire in your life, your body will function. The chakra open, everything is hitting on house cylinders, your physical fitness will be impeccable. Understand me, trust me. Now, salvation is what? Is the freeing again of the soul from its bodily feathers. How you do that? By becoming a God through knowledge, knowing thyself, and practicing and experiencing wisdom by controlling the forces of the cosmos instead of what? Being controlled by them. And you do this by, again, subduing your lower nature, and through awakening of the higher self, you end the cycle of rebirth, and you end up dwelling in the duat with the netters who what? Who direct and control the great planes, aka the forces, the universal force. Make your life, right, thinkers, make your life the subject of what? Intense inquiry, meaning study, learn, dig all you could, get everything you could. In this way, you will discover what is goal, direction, and destiny. To free the spirit, you control your senses. That means the body, the five senses. And the reward would be what? Clear insight and, you ready? Knowledge of self. And then again, that's the lesson. And in closing, right thinkers, may you only be 100 and me 100 minus a day. So I never know that right thinkers like you would pass away. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. Oh, I'll be back.